Hi, my name is Steve Bowler, and in this video I'm going to be configuring EIGRP summarization, and also we're going to take a look at EIGRP leak maps and how you can use them one way in EIGRP. I'm also going to be showing you guys how to inject a default route into the EIGRP domain using the IP summary address command. Okay, so right now all of our routers have been started. I have 4 loopbacks right now on router 1, loopback 0 through 3, and which R1 is going to be like our hub, and R2 and R3 are going to be our spoke routers. Router 2 doesn't have any connections other than the serial link to router 1, and then router 3 is the same. It's got a frame relay set up between router 1 and router 3. They're running, what we're going to configure them is to be running frame relay point-to-point sub interfaces. And I'm going to show you how to configure an EIGRP a leak map with EIGRP, and maybe I'm going to show you guys how to overcome some of the problems you might see trying to configure a leak map on a point-to-point sub interface. So we'll go ahead and get the routers up and going here. We got router 1, router 2, and here we're going to console into router 3. Okay, now that we're into all the routers, what I'll do here is on router 1, just see what we got here. Okay, looks like we need to do our IP addressing and everything. So on router 1, the serial 00 is connected to router 2, so we'll get that configured first. What I'll do here is just go 000. IP address is going to be 172.16.12.1, and we'll just make those let's see here, we'll just make those /24s, do a no shut, and over here, just so we don't confuse ourselves, we'll change the /30 to a /24 on both of these links. Okay, back to router 1. Let's go to router 2 now, and let's see, on router 2 I believe it's interface 000 is connected to router 1, so we'll do IP 172.16.12.2. We'll do a no shut, and then what we're going to do here real fast, we're just going to configure EIGRP on the spokes first. Well, in this case we'll do it on router 2. So we'll do router EIGRP process 1. Then we're going to be we want to put in no auto summary. That way we don't summarize it classful network boundary ranges. Also, what we're going to do here is, so what we want to do now is put in the network command, which will advertise, what we're going to do here is put in our serial 000 interface into our network statement. That way we're going to be, that's how we're configuring EIGRP to run across that link. We're just going to do that exclusively, so we're going to use the all 0 mask. So that'll define that as a host mask pretty much, and it'll only try to send out, EIGRP multicasts out that the interface with that IP address, which is serial 00. Okay, now we'll go back to router 1. We'll do the same thing. We'll configure EIGRP process 1, we're going to use the network statement here. I'm sorry, first always put in no auto summary first, and then we're going to do network 172.16.12.1 with all zeros, and show IP EIGRP neighbors. And as you can see here, we have formed a neighbor adjacency with router 2, which is 12.2. And okay, so now what we want to do is look at our link to router 3. And what I'm going to show you guys here when we summarize is that you can run into some problems trying to, use a leak map with if you're running, point-to-point sub interfaces. So what we're going to do here is configure router 1 just like we would for point-to-point sub interface to router 3. So our connection to the frame is interface serial 01. We're going to specify frame relay encapsulation first. Then we're going to go into the sub interface. We're just going to name it 1 to 3, 1 3, and we're going to do point to point. Let's see, 0, 1. Then under here, we just do our IP address real fast here, 172.16.13.1//24 subnet mask, and then we're going to use our frame relay command to specify, the del C to use. Frame relay, we're going to be using interface del C will be 103. And before we exit here, I guess we can hop on to router 3. What we'll do is we'll go and we'll specify to send EIGRP hellos out 172.16.13.1. Okay, now if we go to router 3, we'll configure router 3, which should be using serial 00. We'll specify encapsulation frame relay. Then we'll go under the 3.1, configure that as a point-to-point interface. IP address is 172.16.13.3, and that's going to be a /24. And then the del C to use to reach router 1, we're using frame relay interface del C 3 to 1. And then before we quit here, we want to do a no shut on the interface. Let's make sure we did that here on router 1. Show IP interface brief. As you can see here, it's still down 0.1. So we'll go serial 0.1 and do a no shut. Okay, now if we do a show frame relay map on router 1, it says that it's been deleted, but I don't think that's right. Let's go to router 3, do a show frame relay map. Alright, let's see.